All right, what's up, everybody? Ricky J. Alvarez here, Ricky the Realtor, Boulevard Real Estate, Alvarez and Associates. It's an honor and pleasure to be back. This is not Tequila Transactions, episode 45, and I got my boy, the one, the only, Jordan Sharp here. So we're gonna be talking tequila, talking business. Man, I want to bring it up, bro. We might bring up the Niners, bro. So we're gonna be talking a little bit of everything today. So that's why we got the tequila out. So first and foremost, bro, just gonna give you the mic real quick, let you introduce yourself, and I'm gonna start pouring us some tequila if that's cool with you, bro.
Hey, man, I'm cool with that, man. But I appreciate the introduction, man.
No doubt.
I'm Jordan, been a licensed real estate agent since 2020. Really, what got me interested in real estate was just helping people, just, helping my community in general. There is a lot of, I would say, just lack of knowledge when it comes to real estate, how you can make money, how you can really just grow and actually build wealth from it, right? And so, me having a background of sales experience, working at different seller companies, working at different sales jobs, I got myself to want to get into real estate just because of those reasons and just bring all my skills and technology that I learned and that I utilized throughout the past few years to bring it into real estate. And the main thing I would say, Ricky, what really got me interested in getting into real estate, especially during 2020, was the fact that social media was out there, right?
Right.
We got to shut down, and it was just like, dude, this is a huge opportunity. And most businesses kind of get on the train to utilize social media to really impact their business. And my main goal was, I want to be the number one social media realtor out there in the Bay Area because I didn't really see too many individuals on social media. So, going through that path, I've learned so much, grew from there, and, really now it's just about taking it to the next level. So,
well, awesome, bro. I mean, I see you, so I know you're doing your job, right before the camera started rolling, we're talking about how it's like a job within a job, man. It's just like, real estate is a person business, it's a relationship business. So, really utilizing a social platform like Instagram or TikTok and things like that really kind of helps you, spread your wings a little bit and really get in front of a lot of people. And definitely if you're not, utilizing those tools correctly, and if you're not staying consistent, then, you're not adapting, you're not progressing. So, but yeah, bro, really happy to be here with you, sharing, some tequila with you, and, just talking shop, man, just, kind of catching up with you. It's been a crazy real estate industry, and you came in right when everything was going berserk. So, I kind of started it in 2014 when everything started getting berserk, coming from the downturn of the market where, pretty much when I was in college, man, I was seeing people lose their homes. I was literally studying the shutdown, as it was happening pretty much. So, just seeing where real estate has come from, mortgage-backed securities and that crisis, and how people were just losing their homes because no one knew that they had adjustable rate mortgages, and people weren't educated. And I think a lot about what we do is really educating our client, making sure that, ultimately they, get the best deal possible, or that, we find the right place, or, at the end of the day, it's about making sure that we help our clients find that right, fit for them. So, but yeah, man, it's been definitely interesting to kind of see how real estate has transformed itself. Yeah. And like you said, during those times, I mean, there's a few people out there, but it wasn't really utilized to the way it is today. So I think, people like yourself and other realtors who really utilize those platforms really kind of just pushed a lot of people to get out of their shell, right? Because like I said, if you're not adapting, then you're not progressing. So, so a lot of people kind of were sitting on the sidelines, and still to this day, you see kind of old school agents hesitating to post. And so it's like you said, bro,
just post, man. Just get it out the way.
Right. I think the hardest part is sometimes people don't know what to post, right? But it's at the end of the day, you got to post to see what works, man. You got to get in front of the camera, just be uncomfortable. I mean, it's not easy. It's not easy to get ready, get in front of a camera, just talk to the camera all day, you know what I mean? So it's definitely an interesting, just kind of shift in how everything has changed, bro. So I applaud you, man. I applaud you for all the hard work you do. I see you. I know you're working because you're always on my feed. So I know that you're doing something. So it's cool, really cool to see, brother. So I applaud you, man. Hell yeah. So I got a little something for you. Just came back from Mexico, so I brought back a little tequila here, like I always do. Always try to bring back something different, something unique, and this is a bottle that I really like, but this is a real different version. So for me, I'm more of an añejo guy, so I like the aged stuff. You know what I mean? For me, I like the darker liquors. I like the stuff that has a little bit of body to it, that's a little oaky. But this is a whole different spin on that. So this is something called a cristalino. So I don't know if you've had cristalinos before, but it's essentially an aged tequila that's been like distilled through a carbon filter to remove a lot of imperfections, the color, and you're still left with the super smooth tequila, but it's not like that overwhelming dark, like oaky kind of flavor. So straight from Mexico, I've always tell my folks, like, if they ain't got no seal, ain't got no deal. So this is straight from the motherland. Got the seal of approval right here, and really unique bottle. They got a little twist on it. Okay. And they kind of, I don't know if you remember back in the day when 1800 had the little shot at the top.
Yeah, I remember.
So they kind of took a little note out of their book, and they put that little emergency shot right here. So once you're done with the bottle, you still got a little something to sip on for yourself.
Okay.
So let me know what you think, bro. And then happy to, I know you said you had a little story that you wanted to share. I don't know if you want to share it.
Yeah, it's like back when I was like early 20s. When I was going to Vegas like 3-4 times a year. Yeah, it was crazy during that time. But the story I had, I've always been a big tequila drinker. I'm also to Hennessy as well. Oh, right, Hennessy fan. Yeah, and one of the times I went to Vegas, I remember this. We all had like bottle of Patron, just like this, a lot bigger. Yeah, bottle of Patron. It was about 4 of us, right? Yeah. And we killed that bottle in like, I'll say, a day and a half. And it was a long day, man. It was a long day. Yeah. So I'm already feeling good. I'm like, the tequila's in. We go to a day club, then we went to a pool party, then we went to the nightclub. But right before the nightclub, we went to Fat Tuesday. And it was probably one of the worst decisions I ever made. But I was like, you know what? Let me get a small Fat Tuesday. Let me drink this up. But because it had so much sugar, it gave me the worst headache possible. And I was just like, man, I never want to drink tequila. But me being so young, I didn't know that if you have a lot of sugar mixed with alcohol, that's what's really going to give you like those big headaches. Exactly. And once I understood that, I was like, you know what? Like, if I'm going to have a Fat Tuesday, I got to have no alcohol in my system. Or I'm going to have to just make sure that I drink a lot of water, because it is a lot of sugar. You have to balance it out. You know what I mean? But I never been the biggest drinker, but I would say like the days where I was drinking a lot was probably when I was going on vacation, traveling a lot. Going to Vegas, going to other states. Because you're out with friends, you're out with family. And it's just like, might as well have a good time.
100%, I agree with you. I think, and that's the beauty, I think, in my opinion, of tequila, is that it kind of brings people together, right? And as you get older, you get wiser, right? Like, you start to learn, like, the error of your ways and ways to kind of prevent yourself from waking up and get pissed off that you put a little too much sugar in your system. And that's what it comes down to. It, back in the day when we're younger, we're just drinking whatever's available, right? Pretty much, right? Or whatever everybody else is drinking. So early on in my drinking career too, I've made many mistakes where I'm like adding too much juice or doing like way too much, like chasing stuff with something with a lot of sugar in it, right? Next day you feel like trash. You know what I mean? You don't even want to get up. So my thing is, like, if you're drinking good tequila or anything, any good liquor, bro, like, you're gonna be fine as long as you're sipping it, taking your time. Even if you're drinking cocktails, make sure you're hydrating a little bit, drink some water, you're gonna be fine, bro. But early on, we're such, I think just like in a race to get drunk, as fat as quick as possible, that we're not really caring, right? But definitely as I've matured myself, I've started to realize, what to stay away from. And for me, vodka is like my enemy. Like, vodka is my enemy, bro. So
I am like, and there's one question I wanted to ask you too.
Yeah, for sure.
This, I could tell you a little bit of story about this too, but when was the first time you ever mixed light with dark
Oh my God.
And then,
Yeah.
how much did you regret it the next very day?
Oh man, I think that was probably one of my worst hangovers. It was like, I probably want to say it was like maybe like even before I was 21, you know, where like, you know, like for us, like growing up in the Bay, like if you don't got nothing to do, like you're either hopping on bar, going to an A's game for cheap, or like going to the city, walking around, or like heading out to Berkeley or something. I remember one time we used to, back in the day, like when we were in like barely in college, because for me, I was an 18-year-old freshman at DVC, so I was young, bro, but I was hanging out with a lot of people who were a little bit older than me. And one day we didn't have class. I think it was like Martin Luther King Day, one of those days where like you get a day off, so we didn't have no class. So like, what we're gonna do? I like, you know, fuck it, let's go to the horse races. So we jumped in one of my homeboy's cars. We drove out to Berkeley, went to go see some horse races at the Berkeley Marina, right? And I remember on the way there, dude, we were drinking everything, like whiskey. It was like literally was like Jameson and Coke, Jack and Coke, all the way there, and then chilling. Show up to the Golden Gate Fields, having a good time, and then when we leave, we go to a bar, and then we start drinking a round of shots, and it was vodka shots. Dude, I'm getting like the spins thinking about it, man. Just like reminiscing. It was probably one of the worst decisions I've ever made. And I was young. I was like, man, ain't nothing gonna face me. Like, I'm gonna be fine. I'm gonna get up the next day. It's gonna be good, right? Wasn't, man. I think that day was like a holiday on a Monday. I had the class the next day on a Tuesday. And then ended up going to class because it was that bad. So like, definitely probably one of the bigger mistakes. And it's just like, when you're young, you think you're that like invincible.
You think you're invincible, like nothing's gonna phase you, like.
And it's like, cool, like you got me a drink, whatever, a shot, whatever, cool, whatever, right? So it's like at that point, it's like I didn't know the mistake I was making until the next day, and it's like it goes to show you, like you really got to be careful. Like even sometimes, like I had to remind myself when I'm on vacation too, like I could be like if I'm on the beach, I'm drinking beer or something because it's hot. And then later I'll start drinking tequila, and then I remind myself, like, take it easy, right? Because I've already been drinking beer, and then I'm starting to add in alcohol, and then it's just going to be a big old thing. So, that dude, it just makes you feel like, you know, obviously, like, you made the biggest mistake, you start getting pissed off, and I start thinking, like, who the hell, who gave me this damn shot, right? And I started, like, that fucking guy, like, started talking smack about somebody, like. So, but okay, you really got no one to blame but yourself, you know, because you making those choices. So, but yeah, bro, that probably would be my first and only time I'll ever do that again. So,
yeah, man, that's crazy to hear because for me it was, you know, we wanted to go to a house party. We were like all like ready to go. We had about maybe 20, 30 people we knew was going to be at that party. So everyone had alcohol, and we brought our own.
Yeah.
Thing is. I was big on Hennessy, right? So some of our close friends had Hennessy.
Gotta love it. I could taste it right now. I could taste it.
I can taste it. But once we got to the party, it was like we had our Hennessy, and then other people were like, "Hey, I got Amsterdam. I got vodka. I got this."
Yeah.
And it's like I literally got a shot of everything plus Hennessy, dude. That night. Man, I went back home, threw up all over the floor, blacked out. I didn't even know I threw up on the floor. Yeah. And the next morning, like I just see my mom. She's like cleaning up the, you know, throwing for me, and I was like, man, I'm so happy I have her on my side, right? You know.
Shout out to mom. Damn, man. Dude.
Shout out to mom.
Dude. Like, damn. Like I'd probably have some big whoopings in my life because you know, just early, but my mom look out for me too, bro. But it's like you got no one to blame but yourself.
Exactly, and you know, I look back at that, I'm like, I'll never Mason again.
And it's like, you know better, bro. You try to have a good time, you know, and having life at the, you know, having a ball at the party, and it's like, dude, it's rough. Definitely, I've had some encounters where like, no, dude, I'm not ever doing that again. And as you get older, you get wiser, right? Yeah. Start kind of, you know, timing your drinks out or drinking a little bit of extra water. For me, I don't really, unless I'm involved and have a cocktail, like something nice at a restaurant or whatever, like that's fine. But like, if I'm drinking, I'm like drinking tequila and soda all night. And I like to do a little bit of sparkling water because I don't like to dilute it too much. Yeah. But if I'm drinking something like where I wanted to get a little sweet, I'll just do a little bit of splash of Coke in there or something like that, just to give it a little bit of color and give a little bit of sweetness. But for me, it's like, if I'm drinking good tequila, I'm drinking it straight, or I'm doing a little bit of sparkling water, because I just don't want to taste it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want it to the point where I'm adding so much mixture in there that, like, I don't even taste my tequila anymore.
You're drinking more actual drink than you are tequila.
Exactly. And then, like, if you're paying a good amount for a bottle, like, you're not trying to not taste the bottle. Like, obviously, there's a reason why that bottle's at least $100, whatever it is. So, but yeah, bro, let me know what you think. Definitely, this is one I haven't tried either, bro. So cheers.
Cheers.
Salud.
Salud. Well, that's smooth.
That is very smooth.
Very, very
It's a little sweet too.
No chaser needed.
No
chaser.
So you don't need it for nothing. It's super sweet too. Like at the end, they get like a little sweetness. But yeah, for sure, man. Now I know why it's popular. Now I know why this was popular. You can actually find these bottles here, but they're a little different. And what I mean by that is, if you look at the alcohol content on these are 35% alcohol. So it's not overwhelming about alcohol. When they come here, you check Patron, I bet you it's 40%. I guarantee you, it's at least 40% alcohol content.
Where are you?
You're right. Should be in the front, something like this in it.
Oh yeah, 40%. You're on the money.
So typically, when they bring you here, since 40% is the max, they kind of max out when they pretty much send it to US.
Okay.
So the reason for that is just that's what the cap is. So that's what they max it out at. Mexico, you're going to see stuff anywhere between 35 and 38%. So a little bit more flavor, less alcohol. It's still going to get you faded. That couple percentage points is not going to make a huge difference, but it does make a huge difference in the actual taste of it. So
I'll take some of the sparkling water.
Oh hell yeah, man! A little palate cleanser is what I call it.
It is.
And then my trick is like if I'm adding this, I know I'll hydrate while I'm drinking, so it's gonna be a good long night, man. You gotta just keep the night going because I'm not trying to go to sleep early, and you know what I mean. Like for me, it's like when you're drinking tequila amongst a lot of friends, especially when like I got a lot of homies and they're bringing bottles for us to try too. It's like we're having a lot of tequila, but it's important obviously to spread them out a little bit, drink some water, some sparkling water. Just make sure you're hydrated because dude, it'll catch up to you quick.
Dude, like
it'll catch up to you.
Back in the day, it was shot here.
Yeah.
Then after everybody's done, literally 1 minute later, pour another shot.
Yeah.
Pour another shot. Man, I can't do that now. And then I started to like grow, actually getting older and really realizing that my body is changing. I have to have I say more than 2 shots without me feeling very tired when it comes to the nighttime. And then waking up too. I remember I went to, we're going to talk about the Niners pretty soon.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I went to the Niners versus Lions game. And, we drank a good amount. I would say I mainly drink beer.
Yeah.
I only had like a few shots, but literally that night, I was so tired going into bed. Waking up the next morning, I'm thinking, I'm going to have my normal routine. It's Monday.
Yeah.
Dude,
no.
I was out of routine that day. I woke up so late.
Yeah.
That it felt late to me. Like, for me, I like to wake up at 6 a.m. every day, right? Yeah. But when I wake up at 10:30.
Oh, you probably get back.
My whole day is...
Oh, yeah. You've lost almost your whole day.
Yeah.
You're behind like 4 hours.
Yeah.
And then so you're playing catch up that whole day. I know what you mean. I've been there for sure. And it's just like, damn, now I got to really prioritize everything because if I'm trying to do what I was going to do at 6, it's already open, So yeah, it's wonderful. And that's what I was going to ask you. I was like, well, what did you have shots of? Because I could tell you it's probably because it's more processed liquor. Like they have some additives in there, right? It really flex with us, man.
Yeah.
So that's why like there's been a huge like emphasis now on like additive-free tequilas. Like that's the thing right now. Like before, it was like this was the hottest thing. Like having a cristalino, people are like, "Oh man, well, you got a cristalino," and it's because it was different. It was new. Like Don Julio was the first one. They were one of the first ones that came out with their Don Julio '70. That was like the first clear tequila that ever hit the market, and that shit blew up. And then so years later, obviously people were finding out that the process has been a lot different than what it has been in the past, as far as like a lot of these bigger companies are cutting corners. Like the actual agave themselves, actual plant, the cactus is supposed to be matured by like 6-7 years. Sometimes they wait like even longer, but they're cutting them 4 years in, 5 years in, and it's changing the whole game, because now they're cutting corners on letting that plant actually mature. They're cutting it early. They're doing additives, they're adding sweeteners, things like that. So that's why a lot of people complain and be like, "Oh no, that tequila's trash." Like, and then like once they get fame, I'll tell you, this is the most cliche thing, but it happens every fucking time. Is like once a tequila brand gets hot, once they get the fame, they start slitting, bro. See how 1942 was like the talk of the town? Like,
that used to be my go-to, man.
And now you taste it, and it's like, what? It don't taste the same. It's just started cutting corners, man. It's not the same. It's not like they didn't take the same time and care to make that product, because they're rushing into market. They're trying to get it out there. They're trying to get it out there. So it's like that's when the whole process changed. They're trying to cut corners on, obviously on the growth of the agave, trying to take corners on how long they're actually aging it. Like they pull it early. So it's like all kinds of things that happen. You know what I mean? So it's like, unfortunately, it's inevitable. Once it's a good brand, once it's good, it's like, all right, I hope they don't fuck it up. Then you shouldn't fuck it up. And I'm serious, man. There's been some good ones back in like since when I was a kid growing up. Obviously, see like my uncles or my dad, and my dad's a huge tequila collector. That's where I kind of get it from. But like seeing all these really good brands, and you're like, oh, people are like, oh, this is hella good, and you try it, like, oh, this is really good. Start enjoying it, buy more bottles of it, and then just it changes. It's just not the same anymore. But yeah, bro, like for real, the real like emphasis now, like if you talk to a real tequila, connoisseur, people who really love tequila, they're all about the additive-free stuff right now. They want that real, raw, authentic, made tequila. The more like, it's called more artesanal, which means like more artisanal, like more like cultural, like the old way of doing things, right? And so that's what people really gravitating towards. So like all the tequila schnapps, if you pull it with a bottle of 42, they don't look. If you pull it with a bottle of Patron, they want it dang and let you store. If you made your brand like that, they're gonna look at you funny. They're gonna go like, "Oh, bro, you brought the McDonald's to the party." So it's like those are the tequila schnapps right now. And I'm not a schnapp myself. I would say I like what I like, bro. But like some people will say this is trash, and I'll tell you why. Is because to think about it this way, you obviously wait 5, 6, 7 years for a plant to mature. You cut it down, you distill it into tequila, you put it in a barrel, you're aging it for 11, 12, 13, 14 months, sometimes even 2 years, just to then go distill it with a carbon filtration system to remove the color, the imperfections. They're saying pretty much you taken all this time to make this product, and then you just go fuck it up.
Right,
To each their own, you know what I mean? To each their own. Like, somebody says that this is trash, for me, I like it. So it's like everyone's different, like, and just like wine, bro. Like you have people who love wine and talk shit about you because you're drinking a rosé or something. You know what I mean? So it's like it's the same kind of thing. It's like it's all up to you. Like whatever you like is what you like. But for me, I gravitate more towards either like earlier we were talking about like darker liquors. It's either for me the darker añejos, extra añejos, or the cristalinos. Even the Go sent me a video like. Cause we had our show, we were drinking Cristalino and stuff too, and then he sends me a video of some dude talking mad shit about Cristalinos, and I'm like, man, to each their own, bro. Like everyone has their own opinion. Some people don't fuck with tequila. That's them. You know what I mean? Like I can't force anybody to like it. Just like someone can't tell me, oh, this is trash, you shouldn't drink it. Like, at the end of the day, if you like it, you like it though. So that's my take on it.
100%. And transitioning over to that 49 game. I have to say the 49ers in general, man. Everyone, just like you said, everyone has an opinion for tequila. Everyone has an opinion on how that game went down.
Oh, for sure.
Right? So,
for sure.
My question to you is, and we can go back to me on this, but what happened? What do you feel like is the biggest factor that played into that game that caused us to lose?
Dude, I think plain and simple, just like we didn't take advantage of the opportunities we were given, and that's life. You have something in your favor, And obviously you should try to capitalize on it. And when you have something in your grasp and you're not able to actually be able to have that come to fruition, it sucks, because obviously as Ladder fans, me and you sitting here, we've had 3 slip away. Yeah. We're looking like the Buffalo Bills or Miami Dolphins right now. Yeah. So it is rough. It is rough, but like it could be worse.
Yeah,
it could be a lot worse, right? But I think what really goes down to it is like, man, we had that fumble off Pacheco early. We got that interception off Mahomes, and we got no points off both of them.
Yep.
We scored at least a field goal on each one. Mm-hmm. We got a whole different ball game. We just didn't go come down to it. And obviously there's things that hump me, like that left punt. Like a Kyle, maybe reminisce on Kyle Williams. Dude, I was thinking about Kyle Williams when that happened. Like, and then the extra point that Moody missed. It's like, man, like we can't do that on those. Like nothing, we could have done nothing to change that. That was gonna happen. But
you want to know how old I was and how Williams did that? I was 14, 15 years old.
Yeah, I think I
was pissed.
How old are you? You mind me asking?
I'm 27.
Oh yeah, I'm a few years older than you, so I was still hurt, but I was a little older than you were at the time.
Yeah, but it was reminiscence for sure.
Yeah, I was in my early 20s at the time, and yeah, bro, it hurts, man. It definitely hurts, because you obviously want your team to win it all. I mean, that's the goal for everybody. Like that's in sports in general. Like you play sports to obviously win. You play sports to get the accolades, to get that championship, and that's just the way it is. Like that's what you play for. And it just sucks, man, because like really wanted Frank Gore to get that first win.
Yep.
You know, when we played the Ravens, I really wanted Frank to get that one, because I think we had a lot of veterans. Joe Staley didn't get his ring.
Yep.
A lot of guys didn't get their ring. You know what I mean? So I really wanted that one. Obviously, that one could have been different. Then and same thing like the Seahawks. They didn't even give the ball to Marshawn. We didn't give the ball to Frank the Tank.
Yeah.
When we were in the red zone. So obviously that could have been different. And then obviously us, playing Patrick Mahomes in that first one, like we had that game won. Mm-hmm. We got too cocky. We didn't do what we needed to do to close the door on them, and that's number 2. And then this last one, it's like the opportunities were there.
Yeah,
the defense was playing a good game, right? And like I still think of it like, what if we deferred? What if we didn't receive the ball overtime?
See now,
what if we didn't?
Let me talk to you about that part, because, most people that came up to me are like, oh, they made a bad decision overtime. They didn't know the rules. Just hear me out for a second.
Oh, for sure.
Hear me out.
Yeah.
Knowing what Patrick Mahomes is, and kudos to Patrick Mahomes, like he is like now making a name for himself to be closer to reaching that GOAT status.
Yep.
And he just needs to like get closer to Brady, right? So I give him those kudos, right? Yeah. But my thing is, knowing who you're going up against, Kyle Shanahan made the right call. Mm-hmm. Let me tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
If we would have given them the ball first, imagine they scored. So now we have to match.
Oh, no,
now we have to match.
Yep.
But guess what? Now they get the ball.
Yeah.
On the third time.
Yeah.
And guess what? They have one of the best kickers in the league, who all they need is a field goal. Imagine us losing by a field goal.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah. They would have been saying Kyle Shanahan made the wrong decision in deferring.
Oh, yeah.
You see where, like...
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing, but I would rather go in the direction where Kyle Shanahan went, because you're getting the ball first, so you dictate everything. You get to score. So let's say if you score, right? And we needed 6 on that. I don't know why we got a field goal. We needed 6 on that. Well,
would you have gone for that 4th?
Yes, I would.
Yeah.
Yes, I would.
I would have gone.
Knowing who I'm going up against, that's probably the only knock I have on Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers in that particular moment. But let's go back. I would rather get the ball, because if we get 6, they come back and go get 6. Like Kyle Shanahan said,
then we
have a chance to win the game.
Right.
Now I would have been comfortable with Jake Moody kicking that field goal for the last possession.
Yeah.
But it still would have gave us a way better chance to win that game.
I agree.
But I 100% agree with you what you mentioned in the beginning. It's all about opportunities, taking advantage of it.
It all goes. I think we're just still lucky to have rookie contracts for guys like Brock Purdy. But it's really interesting to see because I don't know if Dre Greenlaw comes back. And in my opinion, if Dre didn't get hurt early on, I think the defense would have been a lot better. That he may have been able to make a play on that last touchdown as well because he would have been covering that side. So
yeah. And
it's crazy.
I really hope they don't bring Spencer Burford back.
Oh, hell no.
Please do not bring. Like,
Hell no.
When I saw that, and then just going back to the tape, on who was up, Brandon Ayuk was pressed, but he got the advantage off of the press coverage.
Right.
And if Spencer Burford would have covered Chris Jones, probably would have been touched.
Yeah.
So it's like seeing all that, it hurts, but it is what it is. It's sports. There's only one team that wins at the end of the day, right? But
that's true.
Like I said, I have to give kudos to Patrick Mahomes because that right there, he faced a lot of adversity throughout the whole entire year, not just like playoffs, but the whole entire year. Didn't have the weapons, receivers for dropping passes.
Yeah,
they were the most penalized offensive team in the most penalized team when it comes to the offensive line.
Right.
And turns out like they didn't get any holes in the Super Bowl. I'm just put that up. They didn't get no holes in the Super Bowl.
I've seen a few,
but we're not going to use that as an excuse, right? We playing the Super Bowl, we didn't execute. That's what it is. We didn't execute off of opportunities we had, and we'll see if they get back in the near future. So
hopeful, man, definitely hopeful because I would love for Trevor Williams, guy who plays his heart out to get a ring for sure. Obviously, would love for George Kittle to get a ring. A lot of those guys, Fred Warner deserves a ring. All those guys deserve a ring, man. They play hard, man. Those guys put their heart out there, and it's rough, man. It's obviously we've talked about what the ifs and what could have happened, but at the end of the day, we just didn't get it done, and we just gotta swallow that, move on, and hear it from all the Raider fans and all the Cowboy and Eagle fans.
And the funny part is, that I have some Raider fans that are like, they feel bad for us. Yeah. Because they don't like the Chiefs. And it makes sense because they're in their division. But you got some Raider fans that are like, oh, we congratulations, Chiefs and everything. I'm like,
they're in
your division. Yeah. And the point I always make is this. Whenever we've seen teams like the Rams, Seahawks, anyone in our division really go to the Super Bowl.
Oh, hell no.
Are you going for it?
Hell no. No, what?
My point.
Yeah, I mean, I love Marshawn as a person, but I hated him when he was on the Seahawks, and I hated Richard Sherman.
Man.
Until he put a Niner jersey on, I hated him. You know what I mean? So it's like, until they put on that red and gold, then it's a little different. But still, at the same time, it's like there's a lot of this rivalry, man. It's like I'm not gonna root for those cats.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah,
I was rooting for Tom Brady. I put my money on Tom Brady.
Yeah, same.
When Russell Wilson got that interception, and I was like, cha-ching. Yeah, I for real, like growing up, it's like you hate Tom Brady, but I mean, he's a bad man.
I respected him like a lot more once he left the Patriots because I didn't like the Patriots. It wasn't that I don't like Tom Brady, it was just the Patriots. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, runs it back with his new team too. That was pretty awesome.
And when? Yeah. Like that is like a fantasy story right there. Yeah. And then he's breaking on records. He's winning in his own stadium in the Super Bowl. Hosted for the first time. Like, that is crazy.
Yeah, he's one of the greats. For sure, one of the greats, man. And speaks volumes of him as a person, as an athlete, and just like, dude, he's about his business. He showed up to the new team, worked his ass off, got Gronk on the squad, and there they went.
Got Antonio Brown before he.
He's a knucklehead, man, but I love that dude. I think he's just a freak athlete. I mean, he's just misunderstood in my opinion, and which receiver isn't a diva? You feel me? Like, we grew up watching Terrell Owens. Terrell Owens was one of the biggest divas in the NFL, so it's like.
But they had receivers, dude. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Antonio Brown.
They were stacked.
And they had this one cat who was, I think it was like Scott something.
The white boy?
Yeah.
He had his little slot guy.
Yeah, he had the slot guy, yeah.
He was good.
He was like a Julian Edelman type of role. I was like, damn, that's crazy.
Yeah. Was it what was coach's name? Bruce Arians. He knew
Bruce Arians.
he put that squad together. So it was solid. It was solid to see it happen too. So, man, football.
Yep.
Gotta wait till next year, bro. Or in a few months, obviously. Fucking call.
6 months, really half a year.
Yeah, it's not that long.
Yeah.
Literally, because it's combine and then free agency and then all that stuff kind of kicks off right after that. So
yeah, I'm just watching basketball, John. Living,
same.
just watching basketball.
And then baseball will be here in no time. Giants looking solid. We got Solaire's. I was happy they signed Soler because Solaire's a power guy. We needed some dual power. We never had a power guy.
We lost Crawford.
Crawford's going to be a Cardinal now. I was like, damn. But I think we got something to look forward to. I don't think that they're done. Honestly, I hope that they pull a little trick up their sleeve because Snell hasn't been signed yet. I definitely think they need to pick up another pitcher. But we got some solid guys, man. We got some young guys. You know, Bailey and another dude. The other pitcher we got. Man, we got some good guys. So we'll see, man. Giants are always fun to watch. Always nice to go to the ballpark and, you know, grab some garlic fries and a beer and watch the game. It's always a good time. So, good time for sure. Well, let's transition back into real estate. If it's cool with you, and we gotta try your bottle too. We gotta
take you back.
Little sitting of Patron, early 2000s right here.
Yeah, early 2000s gotta take you back, man.
So, as a new agent, what kind of advice would you give, or what kind of advice would you give yourself if you could go back in time and do it all over again?
Wow, that's a really good question.
Because I know you've been developing your business for the last few years, and now, like, obviously your knowledge now is a lot different than it was when you started. What would you go back and tell, like, newly licensed Jordan? Like, is there any piece of advice that you would give?
I would say, don't be too quick to take the first brokerage or opportunity right away, right?
Yeah.
I think that's my biggest opportunity because, you know, one particular brokerage had, you know, I see courses, like training and stuff that I was going to like help me. But once we got into, because I started like during the time COVID hit, right? So it was literally 2 weeks after I joined the brokerage that we went to shut down. And a lot of their training was in person. They didn't have the system to have everything to be digitally, right? And so that's what kind of like set me back a little bit. And even then, right, if it wasn't for those training courses, I think still like the mentorship, I think that was like the biggest thing was like, dang, I think I took a hit in mentorship because I just took the first opportunity where I should have talked to at least 5 to 10 different brokerages / teams or so. To really identify, you know, what they can provide to me as far as value.
Sure.
And then I could like set me up for my business or so. So I would say that's one of the things. 2, I think, and this is very, very important, but I think any agent that gets into the business, you should join a team. You should join a team.
I agree with that 100%.
And really understand how to really build your business. And how they built their business, and surround yourself with those individuals because those people are ultimately going to be a part of your journey and helping you succeed going forward.
100%. I agree 100%. Like when I first started, I joined a team myself, but I was not just, you know, picking my team's brain. I was literally, I strategically sat in a cubicle in my office to listen to all the top performing teams that were around me. Literally sat next to, I don't know if you ever encountered the Tory team, but I was next to the Tory team, next to my team, next to Kat Sellis was right here, her team. So I was like literally surrounded by all these teams, all these agents that really like did a lot of business. And another young lady named Stephanie Fordham who did a lot of business herself. So like I'm just here listening, like how they answer call, you know, how they have conversations with certain people. You know, and I go right along with my boy Josh when he go on broker tour, and I just hear him when he talks on the phone, how he identifies himself, how he makes people feel, asks people for their name, repeat stuff back to them, right? And then just ultimately made me a stronger agent, made me a better communicator. And for me too, when I was negotiating, like I wasn't shy to negotiate, but obviously I didn't know the structure. I didn't know how to come at somebody. I didn't know how to use, you know, the reports as leverage. So for me, it was like, being able to like really role play that kind of stuff, and then have my team with me next to me while I'm on the call, and like, yeah, feel more confident. I got my homeboys next to me. I got the people that support me next to me, and I'm able to take these calls and just really, talk to a real estate agent the proper way, and not get emotions involved. Be very focused on talking about, on the evidence that we found. Being very having this really structured conversation, because in my opinion, once you get emotional, conversation's done. You know what I mean? Like, once you're talking with somebody who's emotional on the other end, once you get emotional at that point, like, the conversation should just be done, because at that point you're not going to get anywhere. Right. You're already in your feelings. Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, it's like, I've had to take a step back, say, well, let me call you back. I've had to clear, walk outside and just clear the air, because obviously sometimes people don't see the things that you're trying to point out to them. They're not, and they're also sometimes not willing to listen, or they're not even willing to like say, like, let me speak to my client. Mm-hmm. And so I've had to tell people, like, this is a hard decision. This is what my clients would like to have happen. Why don't you have a conversation with your clients to see if we can make this happen? Right. See if we can come together and make this deal move forward, and at least try to get it closed. Like, we're obviously discussing over something. There's obviously a way for us to meet on common ground and try to get this taken care of. They sometimes, agents get in their field, right? They feel like sometimes it's their property that they're selling. Yeah, or like, it's like, man, we're all trying to make this happen. Yeah, I want to get paid just like you want to get paid. Yeah. Like, let's try to get to the finish line. You know what I mean? So I think, being compassionate, obviously, understanding that it's a team effort, and just trying to collaborate with that other individual, because if we're not working together, we're not getting shit done. Mm-hmm. So early on in my career, just learning, trying to absorb as much information, trying to take bits and pieces from people, right? Like how they've developed their business, do it with social media in there. And that's where, for me, like, what really helped me just get my name out there to, like, my sphere was just, like, utilizing those platforms. Mm-hmm. I never once said I think I'd be sitting here in front of cameras talking to you and this up on my social media, but, like, it's important that you create content like that. People obviously get to know you a little bit better, right? Mm-hmm. So for me, it was just like utilizing those platforms to really just get in front of you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to fucking cold call nobody. I didn't want to be a fucking car salesman or sell people shit on the phone. Like, that wasn't me. I'd much rather do it face to face. So I was like, how am I gonna get in front of people? Fucking use social media. And I started off like just using Snapchat, bro, because I was hella fucking nervous to like get on a video. You know what I mean? Like, just put a fucking tripod up and record myself. I was like, fuck that, I'm not gonna do that. Yeah. So what I really started doing was really usually Snapchat, was there 10-second clips at the time, which is I really just posted something like, oh, what's up, I'm Ricky, I'm out here showing property, this is where we're at. And I still to this day do the same fucking thing. Every Tuesday, if I'm not out of the country or away on vacation or whatever, every single Tuesday I'm out seeing property in my neighborhood or within my farm, because I want to know the inventory. Mm-hmm. I want to know who's listing it. I want them to know me. I want to be able to build rapport. And plus, I want them to know, like, if they ever get an offer from me, they're like, fuck, that's Ricky. It was coming to my rubber tours. He's hella cool. So I want to ultimately just be able to build relationships with other realtors, but also more than anything, if I have a client that's like, hey, did you see that house? And I'm like, no, I haven't seen it. Mm-hmm. And it's in live evidence. I'm like, well, why haven't you seen it? That's your fucking job. So it's like, for me, just be able to be out there, showcase what I'm doing, and ultimately, like, start to ask, my audience to ask the question is like, oh, where's that house? Or how much is it? Or, oh shit, that was nice. Tell me a little bit about what they did here, how they did that. So it's like, it was ultimately a way for me just to be able to create, a glimpse into what I was doing in my daily life and in my career at the time, but also more than anything for people to ask questions and see an insight of like what my day-to-day kind of life is. And so for me, I really use it not only now to do all those other things where like I'm mingling with agents, seeing like the trends and prices and seeing new inventory, but to take it a step further now, using that to then recreate that content, to then be able to repurpose it. So, and then that's ultimately what this is all about, right? It's creating content to then repurpose it and like be able to really kind of provide value to your clients and your viewers. So, I mean, just taking that and now that's transformed into this, it's pretty like crazy. So,
no, 100%, man, 100%. Social media is like key, man. It's key to helping you build your business, really putting yourself out there. Like, a lot of people view it as a way of seeing your resume, right?
Yeah.
So how much value you provide, testimonials, see what it's like working with you, right? And seeing your personality too. I think that's the biggest thing. A lot of agents post a lot, like it's not majority of agents, but there's a lot of agents that will post just solds, pendings, graphics of like inventory or something like that, right? And it's like there's no
graphics.
Yeah,
no pictures of that.
No,
just hella infographics.
Just hella infographics, right? And their main picture being their profile picture, right? Which is, you did step one, but step two, you got to get some of your own personality into the mix, right?
Exactly.
Provide some value, right? Because when people ultimately see your page, they automatically think, okay, value. What is he giving me?
Yeah.
Oh, educational video on how to buy a house or what to look for in the house. Then you have another video showing like your client's testimonial, what it was like working with Ricky.
For sure.
All those different things play a role in them saying, I like this guy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna like his stuff. I'm gonna follow him.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna reach out.
Yeah.
Versus if they look on an account, there's a bunch of infographics. What value are they getting? Right?
You know, you gotta read a bunch of shit.
Yeah. And what really sparked my mind into like changing, a couple of things I do in my business, right? Talk to Roland. Roland's like, he's popping off on TikTok right now, right? And
it's just him, voiceovers on seeing property, bro, and he's getting 10,000 plus likes, views, and all that. I mean, it's clever as shit, but at the end of the day, it's like he's out there doing it. You know what I mean? And if you're not out there doing it, and you're just sitting on the sidelines, then
it's not gonna be
people like you and me and Roland are gonna fucking eat up all these clients,
right?
Because they don't see anything about you, and they don't know anything about you. So it's like, what are you doing to show them a glimpse into your life about what you like? Obviously, like for me, that was a hard thing too, bro. Like I was a firm believer in having 2 profiles. Yeah, and now I don't put shit on my personal profile anymore. Like every once in a while, like fuck, I didn't share my cousin's wedding, and I'll go share it on like personal. But like, I really showcase my entire life. Like when I'm on vacation, I'm out drinking, I'm out in Mexico, whatever. Dude, people obviously gravitate towards me because they like me for, not just because I like tequila and I drink tequila and I'm hanging out here with you, but it's like a step beyond that, right? It's like they like me because I provide them value. They saw my video, whatever it is. And I think once you get that first DM and you're like, oh shit, this shit's working. That's when you know like shit like this is paying off, because I've had clients reach out to me and be like, yeah, we did everything you told us to through your videos. And I'm like, what the fuck? They're like, we went and got qualified with these people because you said that they were really good to work with, and we're ready to start buying, and I've always tried to make it a habit to respond to people who like my shit or comment on my shit or like even follow me. Like I thank people for following me and say, hey, how'd you reach me, and start to take that to a step further, right? And developing that, obviously that book of business through social media. But it's just crazy to see that people like actually do watch your shit and they actually do take your advice. And, it kind of speaks volumes to what you do, and it just reaffirms that you're doing the right thing. So.
100%. Yeah. And one of the craziest stories I would say, just off of social media, converting a client into a transaction. Yeah. I remember this. It was so crazy. So I think I was helping another client that Saturday night. I get a DM, but it was a little bit too late. I wasn't gonna, respond to it right then and there. Right. Woke up the next morning. I call that person, right? They're like, I've been waiting for you to call me for the longest. I'm like, okay. So then they go, yeah, we were already pre-approved. We were working with a realtor already, but we didn't have the best experience, but we want to work with you. Literally that same day, we went to go see houses.
Nice.
2 days later, we got a contract.
That's the name of the game right there.
And this is I'm only a year and a half in. Yeah. And I was just like, this is crazy. And that was when market was so crazy to the point where you got 10 plus people trying to buy the same home. So they got beat out 13 offers at that time. And it was their number one choice too, which was a big accomplishment for me. And I just think ever since I went through that transaction, I was like, social media is so powerful. Very valuable. Because you may get clients out of it, right? You may attract new people to go to your page, but there's also going to be some people that may I worked with other realtors or so had bad experiences. They may not even be on social media, right?
Right.
But that same client may just open up their Instagram and you pop up. They're like, oh, I'm having a bad experience. Let me get up this. Oh, yes, his, yes. Oh my God, like I really like his profile, like his restaurant. Let me hit him up. And I think that's the biggest opportunity that most people have with
I agree.
business. So
I agree, and it's like, yeah, man, it's your walking billboard pretty much. And it's like, if you're not updating it, if you're not posting stuff about yourself on there, your life, and it's all real estate or all graphics or all just one thing. And that's for me, like, I've really tried to focus on really kind of diversifying it, adding more stuff about me in there, about what's going on in my life. And it's crazy, like, you know, I'll even be fucking out walking my dog or whatever, and then dude, like, my clients already know about that shit. Or like people will reach out to me, they already know, like, oh yeah, and how's your husky Yoda? And I'm like, well, what the fuck, how do they know? I'm like, they follow me.
Yeah,
they follow me, so they know, right? But it's crazy, it's super powerful. Obviously, it's here to stay. You know, we're only gonna be able to, you know, be more creative and utilize more media to be able to really kind of gain that following on social media to then bring these people back in to help them, you know, achieve their goals in real estate. So cheers to that, sir. That's awesome, bro. What a great fucking story, man.
Thanks.
Salute.
Salute.
Oh shit, that brought me back.
Yep. A lot more salute.
That's the Patron. Oh man.
Cool.
That was
that did bring me back. I'm like, cool.
Oh my God. You know, to be honest with you, I was thinking it was gonna be so much more harsh because I haven't had it so long. I was like, man, it's gonna be hella overwhelming, but shit, I'll drink that. I need that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just remember back in the day, it was like Patron, cold, shots, a little bit of lime, let's go. And now it's like, no thank you, sir. I'm older now. I've journeyed into a new realm of tequila. So it's like, it's cool. It's cool because there's so much out there. And like, you could really get fucking lost in tequila, bro. Just like, you know, it's gotten so fucking popular. So the crazy thing is that like never ever would I think that this would happen, but the crazy thing is that this past year in 2023, not only was Modelo the #1 beer in the U.S., but tequila was the #1 imported alcohol in the United States. Beat out vodka that's been pretty much over a decade been #1. So it's crazy that just how famous it's gotten. And if you go to Jalisco right now, where tequila actually has to be grown, like any fucking piece of land building that's not being developed, there's agave grown on it because it's the biggest cash crop in Mexico. And if you go into tequila now, it's changing like crazy because there's so much money there. It's like it's this most like huge destination now. Tequila's that popular. These folks actually, if you do a little bit of research, there's something called the Castillo de Tequila, so it's the castle of tequila. They literally built it and they're calling it the Disneyland of the drunks.
Yeah,
but they're literally building a fucking 20 or 19-story building with about 200 hotel rooms, office. They're gonna have a university of tequila there. They're gonna have they already have a tasting room there. It's crazy. It's crazy. And so within the next 5 to 10 years, tequila's gonna look completely different. So I mean, you could take the Jose Cuervo train and do tequila. Like, there's so much shit you could do. You can stay in the barrels now.
Yeah,
they got those barrel hotels on the actual agave fields. So yeah, man, tequila has gone crazy, man. So definitely, it's here to stay. It's only getting more popular, and it's also kudos to all the celebrities, man. You got homeboy. I mean, you got people like E40 with their own tequila. You know, George Clooney was the one who changed the game early on, and now everybody. If you don't have real tequila brand, you're slipping.
Yeah,
you know, Kevin Hart has his. Everybody has theirs.
Yeah,
it's crazy to see how crazy and big and popular tequila has gone. So.
Thanks.
Well, brother, I don't want to keep you here too long. I know we could be sitting here all day talking and drinking, but just want to say appreciate you for joining us, jumping on the show, sharing a little bit about yourself and your journey. And, you know, just want to end it off with you, kind of let people know where to find you, how they can follow you. And definitely, you know, hopefully bring you back on the show in the near future, man. So
100%. Appreciate you for having me.
Hell yeah,
man.
My pleasure.
And yeah, if you guys want to follow me, see my journey, just kind of, you know, see, if you're a realtor and want to know more about my journey, follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Jordan.sharp _ 2 underscores at the end of sharp. And yeah, man, let's look forward to killing in 2024, man.
Likewise, brother. Likewise, brother. Thank you. Appreciate it.